Julieta Summers walked out of the detention center and went straight home. The first thing she did was hand Emerson Hensley the divorce papers.
Emerson, I want a divorce,
she said.
Since we lost the baby's no custody battle to worry about, the lawyers can handle dividing the assets. I'm not asking for anything more than what's mine. After signing the papers and waiting for the finalization, we are done.
Julieta's eyes were hollow, her voice flat and emotionless as she spoke. The moment Julieta finished, Emerson didn't even bother responding. He shot her a quick, dismissive glance and scrawled his signature on the papers. Just then, Lillian calls.
Your stomach still hurting? Hang on. I'll be right down to get you. Okay, I won't hang up. I'm here with you.
Emerson murmured soothingly. After signing, he grabbed his coat and rushed out. Right before leaving, he finally glanced at Julieta, barely sparing her a look.
You're fresh out of holding. Go clean yourself up. From now on, leave the contracts in the study. Don't bother bringing them one by one. It's a hassle. Oh, and Lillian's back. I'm heading downstairs to get her now. She'll be staying with us, same as before. I don't want anything like that poisoning accident happening again. Understood?
Even after Emerson walked out, Julieta stared at the divorce papers, lost in thought and almost amused by the sheer absurdity of it all. 5 years of marriage and Emerson couldn't even be bothered to notice it was ending. He was more worried about warning her not to hurt the other woman. Julieta figured there was no point in dwelling on it. The ending wouldn't change, and he never cared anyway. She tucked the papers away and dialed a number.
Mrs. Summers, have you made your decision?
Mr. Owens, I accept your offer. The acquisition of my apothecary's formulas and my joining your company. But I'll need a few days. There are some personal matters I need to wrap up.
Just then, Emerson walked in, carrying Lillian in his arms. He shot Julieta a glance.
Why are you still up? Your little apothecary keeping you that busy?
The sickly sweet scent of perfume flooded the room, and Julieta's nose wrinkled in disgust.
Yeah. Busy.
But Lillian, who'd been watching her like a hawk since she walked in, suddenly spoke up.
Julieta, are you still mad at me?
Lillian lifted her eyes, aiming that practiced, pitiful look straight at her.
I never meant to accuse you of poisoning me last time. It was Emerson. He got so worried he completely twisted my words. By the time I came to my senses, you were already locked up. I'm so sorry. Can you forgive me?
She gestured toward a maid carrying a bag full of salt.
I asked them to set this up for you. Throwing salt on you will wash away all the bad luck. Can we still be like friends? Let's try to get along from now on, okay?
Lillian reached for Julieta's hand, motioning for the maid to bring the salt closer. Julieta stared at the salt. She pulled her hand back sharply and shook her head.
No thanks, I'll pass. I'm not feeling well. I'm going to bed.
Lillian's face crumpled.
Wow, Julieta. You really can't stand me, can you? I had all this specially prepared for you.
Julieta didn't have the energy left to play along. She started walking away, but Emerson caught her arm.
Seriously, Juliana, do you always have to kill the mood? You poisoned Lillian out of jealousy. I'm the one who had you arrested. If you've got a problem with anyone, take it out on me, not her. She's only trying to help you get rid of the bad luck. Why are you ices her out? Apologize to Lillian, now.
She closed her eyes.
I'm not apologizing. And if I'm such a buzzkill, I'll move out as soon as I can.
For a second, Emerson looked caught off guard. Then his face darkened with rage. He clenched his jaw and snapped.
You just never learn.
Just then it started pouring. Then dragged her outside into the yard, ignoring the pouring rain, and shoved her out.
Cool off out here! Don't come back until you've actually thought things through. If you can't figure it out, then don't bother coming back at all.
Face flushed with anger, he spun around and locked the gate behind her. Julieta was wearing only a thin nightgown when she was shoved out into the yard. The downpour instantly soaked her to the bone. Shivering uncontrollably, she pounded on the gate.
Emerson, please open the gate. Let me get inside.
But Lillian clutched her stomach and said something Julieta couldn't hear. Emerson scooped her up and carried her upstairs without a second glance. For 2 hours, Julieta kept pounding on the door until her palms were raw and her voice was hoarse. But no one paid her any attention. Finally, Julieta gave up struggling. She curled up in the corner, drained and powerless. With what little strength she had left, Julieta desperately pulled off the ill-fitting wedding ring and flung it into the muddy ground. As her consciousness faded, Julieta's mind drifted back to a long time ago. The Summers family had been doctors for generations. Her parents had once saved Emerson's father's life. After her parents passed away, Julieta took over the family apothecary and became the Hensley family's doctor. From the very first moment she saw Emerson, Julieta had fallen for him. But back then, Emerson was already with Lillian. They were childhood sweethearts, first loves, and completely devoted to each other. Julieta had always had a secret crush on Emerson, never expecting anything in return. But in the 5th year of their relationship, after Emerson successfully proposed and they were preparing for the wedding, Lillian disappeared overseas without a trace. Emerson was left in shambles, unable to find her, no matter how hard he tried. As his family doctor, Julieta would drop by every now and then to treat his cuts, bruises, stomach aches, and headaches. Finally, one day, Emerson asked her if she had feelings for him.
Do you have feelings for me, Julieta? I want us to give each other a chance.
4 years of secret longing, 3 years of dating, and 5 years of marriage. Julieta poured 12 years of her life into this. It was only then that Emerson finally started to notice her allergies, remembered she was deaf in her left ear, and realized her legs would ache whenever it rained. Only then did he begin to cancel all his work, staying by her side without even changing out of his clothes. Whenever she was sick, he even learned how to massage her legs, just so he could help her sleep better every time it rained. She could see the love in his eyes grow deeper, day by day, as he cared for her more and more. She watched as Lillian gradually faded from his life, as she became the only one in his eyes, and as their little family was about to welcome a new member. But just as their happiness was within reach, Lillian came back. By then, Julieta had gone through 6 rounds of IVF treatments and finally managed to get pregnant after all that hardship. But on her way to see Emerson, a speeding sports car came out of nowhere and hit her, throwing her into the guardrail. She miscarried on the spot, her life hanging by a thread. On the way to the hospital, Julieta mustered the last of her strength to beg the nurse to call Emerson, hoping he'd come to see the baby she'd fought for over 4 years, even if it was for a final goodbye. But dozens of calls and hundreds of messages disappeared into the void, never answered. After 5 hours in the operating room, the doctors managed to pull Julieta back from the jaws of death. But they had to perform a total hysterectomy. She would never be able to have children again. When she finally woke up from the anesthesia, Julieta was emotionally shattered. In her desperation, she tried reaching out to Emerson again, hoping he'd show up for her. But every time she called, his phone went straight to voicemail no matter what she did. She couldn't get through to him. Julieta kept telling herself there had to be a reason. Maybe Emerson was swamped with work. Maybe he was traveling. Maybe he was sick. But then a friend told her the truth. He was at the hospital taking care of his first love. Lillian had caught a cold and he didn't want anyone disturbing her while she rested, so he turned off his phone and devoted himself completely to her. Julieta couldn't recall how she reacted. Her right ear, the only one she could still hear with, was filled with nothing but a sharp, relentless ringing. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital, but Emerson never visited. Not a single call was returned. When Julieta finally came home, the first thing she saw was Emerson at their bedside, feeding medicine to Lillian, who lay in their bed. No explanation, no response. When Emerson turned to face her, the tenderness in his eyes disappeared instantly. In that moment, Julieta realized the 7-year relationship she had forced together was over. But before Julieta could even make up her mind to leave him, Lillian suddenly claimed her stomach hurt.
You poisoned her out of jealousy, didn't you?
I never put anything harmful in the soup.
Accused Julieta of poisoning Lillian and sent her straight to jail.
I want a divorce. I didn't poison anyone.
Get yourself together and pay for your mistake.
Lillian had her stomach pumped and was officially deemed to have suffered only a minor injury. Julieta had miscarried and hadn't even finished her post-miscarriage recovery before she was detained for 15 days. Julieta finally understood that what was not hers could never be hers. Letting go was the only thing she could do now.